Hello, my friends. Welcome inside the. Hey, what do you think? We got a new set, huh? How about that? Pretty cool, don't you think? My name is Tayemba Gokai. I'm the headline of the Lions Den Education Institute. And check it out. Looks like we found a new home. What do you think? Isn't this cool? So I apologize for not posting on my regular schedule. I'm here tonight, but we've been busy. I was actually moving that day, and we found this is our new home. So, if you don't know about the Lions Den Education Institute, we have our own website. It's lionsdeneducationinstitute.com. We share community cultural enlightenment by way of West African drumming and dance, performing arts, juggling we do, stilt walking, acrobatics, balance, and we also teach a variety style of dance. We teach West African drum and dance, which is our forte, and I do jazz dance as well as tap dance. So, and Zumba. So we're mixing it up here at the Den, and we want you to know that this is the place you can come and get a variety of educational needs. We're focusing on the education. So now, this video, we're actually going to focus on the tie-in between West Africa, because my last video was on the countries of West Africa and their capitals. And so this video is going to talk about the overall tie-in. Why are we even so interested in all the cool things that West Africa has to offer? So my general theory is the majority of us, people, African Americans born in this country, are the children of the enslaved people that were brought here, 500 years ago? And so if we can trace our lineage, grandparents, back to the South, then my theory is more than likely we can trace our lineage back across the Atlantic and into West Africa at some point. So we can trace our roots back there, and the reason why that's so important is because, oops, I knocked over our quarter. Tell you what, I'll do a whole video on why these things are all here and why I chose to put each one of them here. Oops, there it goes again. And explain why the quarter is so important. But anyway, so I figured I should do as much as I can to keep as much of our West African culture alive. So that's why there's a focus on there. So which country, you might say, how do we know which country we're from in terms of that whole West African region? So we think of it not so much in terms of the country, because those lines that draw up the countries of Ghana and Guinea and Senegal and Mali, those were all lines that were drawn arbitrarily, or not necessarily arbitrarily, but they were drawn after the wars. The European councils fought over the goods and services of most of that part of the continent. And so it's not so much about the country, but more about the facial features, the body types, linguistic traits, the way we talk, right? That's how we're going to be able to trace back which particular ethnic group we may be a part of. Our diet is also going to be a part. Which foods do we eat? Which is why you saw the last segment I did on Black Eyed Peas and New Year's. You know that there's a direct tie into West Africa in there as well. So that's going to be one way that you can find out which ethnic group we may be descendants of through some of those factors. And the way that we got from West Africa into the South was what they call the triangular enslavement trade, which most of you know. This is how the majority of black people got to the country. Was from Europe. They would come down into West Africa, get the people, come over to this side of the country, drop the people off, and then go back up, creating the triangle, thus the name triangular enslavement trade. Another tie we have there is through the music. Like if you listen to a lot of the music created in this country, it has a booming bass, and it has a lot of polysyncratic rhythms that go on top of those basic bass rhythms. So both of those are elements from West African culture, and that's one reason why I'm from the South myself, one reason why I'm drawn to the dance. And it's fun, it relieves stress, which helps us live longer, you guys. I'm 62, so you may not know it, may not look like it when I'm out there doing my thing, but I gotta say that it has a lot to do with keeping the drum and dance alive and being physical because it does make you sweat. Come to class sometime, you'll see. So everything we do here in the Den is to preserve as much of our West African culture as possible. The foods we eat, the styles of music we dance to. Even for my Zumba class, I tend to use a lot of heavy funk music and international style music. You guys gotta catch that. And so the drumming, the dance, the storytelling, right? These are all things that are proud elements of West African culture that I choose to keep alive and share. And come to find out, every culture has some form of dancing that's fun, vigorous. There's some form of drumming, storytellers, comedians. As far as we go back, most people are more the same. We have more in common than we have different. So if we keep that in mind, that'll help keep us all moving things together. And keeping all these things alive and keeping in touch with my culture is what helps me keep a very special part of it alive. And so I want my children to know, I want my grandchildren to know, and I want you guys to know. So some of you may be interested. Sign up, join the Den, and you can ask me questions. Like we can do one-on-ones, and I can help answer some of those questions. What makes me so qualified? I actually have a master's degree in education and curriculum and instruction with an emphasis in the arts. And yes, I had to learn how to say all that, but that's to say that I've been very well trained on the arts, on ethnic cultures, and how and why they're important. So just to wrap it up, we've been talking about West African culture a lot. I talk about it a lot, and I wanted to make a video explaining what the overall tie-in is and why that's such a big deal. And why that is, again, is because a majority of people from the South, American South, can probably trace our roots back into that West African area. And if we trace our roots back there, it's a result of being enslaved in the South through the triangular slave trade. Europe comes down to the West Coast, and actually all of Africa, takes the people, comes over here, drops them off. Those children have babies, and they eventually produced me. So that's overall how and why I come to this conclusion. But it seems like this is an idea that hasn't really caught on. So there's a disconnect. So I'm here to try and point out some things that can help reconnect us with our roots. And that's actually through the music ties of like the booming bass in our music and the polysyncratic rhythms. Those are different rhythms that we hear on top of those, the basic beat that we have. And so if you listen to a lot of our music, you'll hear that a lot. And those are all ties to West African music and West African culture. And to just take that a step farther, every culture we find out has some form of music, drum and dance, storytelling, fun ways to pass on and keep their culture. And these are just some ways from our people that I thought was important to keep alive, pass on to my friends and family, and now all of my internet family out there. You guys are getting the Den, getting up on all this info too. So just wanted to say thanks again for tuning in. How do you like our new set? Tell everybody to tune in, like and subscribe, leave comments. What would you like the next video to be? And let me know what you think of the new Den. Is there anything I need to put up? A map or something? What do you guys think? But this is where we'll be, and I want you to know that this is where we'll be. Find us here, Lionsden Education Institute. .com, Lionsden Education Institute on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and yeah, see you guys next time in the Den.